What's up, everybody? Welcome to Move the Sticks, a little midweek edition here. DJ, Bucky, and Rhett. Boys, we've got some rookie draft business to take care of today.
I felt pretty confident watching my guy Tyler Warren in the early games, and then things kind of went downhill for me after that. But I feel good about that moving forward.
Yeah. Buck, I'm going back through your squad here. You had Tetaroa McMillan, did a nice job for you. Colson Loveland and Travion Henderson. So you and Rhett each end up picking up three. Rhett had Tyler Warren, Omarion Hampton, Matthew Golden. Nice week for me with the little combo of Ashton Genty and Emeka Ibuka. Got me some points. Swung for the fences on Elijah Arroyo. That didn't work out, but we'll take the 6 points. By the way, of all those rookies, as we're kind of just do a little mini rookie chat here before we do this week's draft, man, Emeka Ibuka, that ain't a flash in the pan. I said it on Monday, Rhett, that I thought, look, I know they have a first ballot Hall of Famer in that receiver group, but at this point in time, with where we're looking at skill sets, I think Emeka Ibuka is their best weapon.
Yeah, I think it's clear. And I think the one thing that we kept saying throughout the draft process is that this kid is going to be immediate impact just because of the way he handles his business, the way that everybody talks about him, the professionalism that he's going to find a way to make an impact right away. And sure enough, touchdown in week one.
Yeah, he's ready to roll. Harold Fannin had a nice week last week. So, we've got some other rookies. Bill Krosky Merritt did a really nice job with Washington. He's clearly, to me, their best running back. I mean, I don't even think it's close.
Those carries are going up.
He's going to get the lion's share of the work there. Buck, any report you got? I don't think we talked about it yet. Just the plan for Travis Hunter and what you saw week one.
So what I saw was he was primarily a wide receiver. He only had a handful of snaps at defensive back. And what happened, they were in control of the game. So they're really leaning on the run. But it was obvious they were pumping the ball to him. If you can go back and think about the Indianapolis Colts way back when they had Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison Jr. and how they would run that little smash concept, 5-yard under with the corner over top. He caught 3 or 4 of those. And you can see, one, he has terrific hands in the middle of the field. But two, he is going to be a primary option for them, particularly when they're working on the end-breaking routes. So I would be discouraged by the numbers that he put up thus far.
No, that's encouraging. Any other rookies league-wide that stood out to you, Rhett? I know we talked about Banks a little bit. The offensive lineman did a nice job with New Orleans. Gray Zabel, I think, some really good things with Seattle along their front. I don't want to just do the offensive guys. But
Schlesinger, I thought, was as advertised for the Browns. They had a really, really nice job on defense in this one, and really from front to back, right? I mean, because they limited Jamar Chase in a big way. Same thing with T. Higgins. I mean, it was Jim Schwartz had that unit really rolling, but I thought Schlesinger has been a big plus for them in the middle, as we all kind of thought he was going to be.
Yeah, and going through, kind of looking at those pass rushers, I mean, my eyes immediately went to, I wanted to watch the cut-ups here and look at Atlanta and what they were doing. Obviously, an organization that made a nice investment there. James Pierce did not show up in the box score of 0 tackles, but he made his presence felt in that game. I thought he had some really nice rushes, and I'm excited to see what he does going forward. So those are some of the rookies that stood out from week one. We've got our rookie draft now, and I was fortunate to get the first pick last week. Buck, it looks like it's going to go Bucky, Rhett, and myself. We'll snake our way back down. The rules again: you need a running back, you need a receiver, you need a tight end. Buck, you are first up.
Yeah, look, no. I'm gonna take Ashton Genty. I'm gonna take the running back. I believe in him. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna go with him right out the gate.
Okay. I just think based off limited availability of limited depth at the position, I'm going to go right back to Tyler Warren here with the Colts. It was a winner for me last week. I know they got the Broncos this week, so that'll be a tougher test for Daniel Jones and company, but I like where things are going with that position. So give me Warren at number 2.
Come on, VJ. I'm going to have to text VJ and be like, I got a little thing I need you to.
Yeah, let him know.
Let's put a little double team on Tyler Warren.
Let him know.
Go elsewhere.
Yeah, help us out there, Buck. I'm going back through the numbers from last week. So Tyler Warren did have the most receiving yards of any rookie with 88 last week. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go I'm going to go with one of Bucky's guys here. I'm going to go with Tedoroa McMillan with my first pick.
T-Mac.
And then I'm going to come back with a homer pick. I'm going to come back with Omarion Hampton against the Raiders on Monday night to have his coming out party.
Better performance this week. Okay. Got it.
So that gets back to Rhett.
I'm going to go. I'm going to say that Travion Henderson gets rolling this week against a listless Dolphins team. So that's where I'm headed on that one.
Okay. Buck, you get a double dip here.
Okay. So I'm going to go. It's tough because, you know what? I'll double dip. So it doesn't matter. Let's go with Loveland and let's go with Abuka.
Rhett?
I need a receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a tight end in Warren, and you have a running back in Travion Henderson. You need to get yourself a wide out.
Let's do that. Let's see what we got here.
I'm going to just put some names out there so people know who did what last week. So if we just looking at receiving yards for rookies, week 1, it was Tyler Warren, Tedoroa McMillan, Harold Fannin Jr., soon to be my pick, Emeka Abuka, Dylan Sampson, Dante Thornton. Those are the guys.
I went Matthew Golden last week, and he got banged up, I felt like, but only caught 2 balls.
A lot of mouths to feed in that offense.
That's true. And those dudes went off too, the other ones. I think at this point, I'm going to go with Travis Hunter.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad pick. Game should be high scoring. Should get plenty of opportunities. Maybe this.
At least the receptions are always going to. If he's getting those short passes, and they're going to try to let him, with the ball in his hands go. I'm going to get some points there.
And he was close to that big one last week.
Do I get defensive points for him too?
No. Stop. He gets interception. You don't get any of that.
No, you don't get any points because this bonus. No, like we're not playing fantasy football at a defensive team or defensive player. No points.
No. I mentioned
you're always in the gray area. You always are like trying to find an edge area.
Trying to find an edge, Buck. I'm going to go Harold Fannin Jr.
Yeah, those years in Boston didn't serve you well.
Whatever.
Harold Fannin Jr. for me. So, Buck, you ended up with Ashton Genty, Colson Loveland, and Emeka Abuka. I like that group. Rhett, you came away with Warren, Travion Henderson, hoping for a big bounce back there, and Travis Hunter swinging for the fences for some. That's a fun watch too. You just sign yourself up for a fun watch.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
And then I'll be honest. I drafted in fantasy league like middle late. I ended up taking my South Carolina guy.
Leggett.
Yeah, Xavier Leggett, because I'm like they're gonna have to throw the ball. He's just a year ahead of where Tedoroa is coming in, and then you watch that tape, and I'm like, gosh, he can't get his feet down on the sideline.
He had 2 chances to put up some decent.
Get your feet down, man.
He just did not get his
so
feet.
I came away from that. If I'm looking at that through Bryce Young's lens, I'm like, yeah, well, T-Mac, you're getting ready to get a whole lot of balls coming your way, buddy. So that's why I went in that direction. And Harold Fannin Jr. a nice week 1, hoping he can bounce. Continue to that, I should say, in week number 2. So there's our rookie draft. All right, every week, if you want to watch tape, by the way, and you want to see who these creative coaches are and what they're doing, you want to watch the All 22, I would encourage you to sign up for NFL Plus Premium. You can check out NFL Pro. You can access over 95 unique player and team performance stats and the All 22 film. So that's available on desktop or the mobile web. So I would encourage you, if you're kind of a tape junkie, maybe you have an interest in scouting, you want to go down that path, that's absolutely must have. It'll be money well spent. So we're doing this coordinator of the week, and this week, guys, it's going to be Tanner Engstrand, the Jets offensive coordinator. This is his first year as the OC. He's only 5 previous years of NFL coaching experience. So most recently, he was the passing game coordinator with the Lions. Think about the brain power they had there, 23 and 24. All the success that they had under Ben Johnson there. If you go through his history, before getting this job as offensive coordinator with the Jets, he was with the Lions from 20 to 24, starting as an offensive assistant, working his way up to passing game coordinator. He was in the XFL as an OC in 19 and 20. He was at the University of Michigan in 18 and 19, and then go all the way back to the University of San Diego from 05 to 08. So you kind of see kind of a Harbaugh thread weaving through here. He was assistant head coach and offensive coordinator from 13 to 18 there. He played at San Diego State for a couple of years. Before that, he was at Grossmont College. Buck, do you know what my connection is to Grossmont College? Have I told you this?
You have not.
So I come out of high school, falling through the cracks, recruiting wise, not a whole lot there. I end up getting a couple, I ended up having like 3 lower Division I offers. It was Akron, Northeast Louisiana. Who's the other? The other one might have just even been like Montana, I think was the other one. So 1AA. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just go to junior college and I'm just going to light it up for a year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to just throw it all over the place. And then we just open up to the Pac-12 and then the country can see what they're missing here. So Grossmont Junior College is a junior college right by my house. Get a hold of the coach. I thought he's just going to be elated to hear from me that I'm willing to offer my services to come play. Coach Jordan, hey coach, I'll just come play for you at Grossmont. He goes, well, we got this quarterback Achilles Smith. So I wouldn't encourage you to come. I'm getting turned down by the junior colleges.
Yeah.
It turns out he was a top 5 NFL pick. So that was good scouting on his part and total lack of awareness on mine, not to do my homework on that situation. But back to the conversation at hand. Buck, were you aware of anything about Tanner Engstrand before we saw him and the job he did with the Jets this last week, which we'll get into and how well of a job he did?
No, look, I wasn't really aware, and it was kind of funny to me when Aaron Glenn made the hire. I was like, okay, where are we going with this? How's this is going to play out? You have Justin Fields. How is this going to mesh? You have an athletic quarterback. How is he going to unlock him? But then you see the commitment to the running game, and Aaron Glenn talk about how they want to be committed to the running game, and Aaron Glenn talking about how Justin Fields' athleticism and dual playmaking ability gave them problems. And then you look and see how the Jets kind of put the offense together. And even though you have Garrett Wilson, they go and get Mason Taylor and those things, it is still a run-heavy offense. They're able to do it. And the fact they put up 30-plus points in the debut, and as we all said on Monday, man, Justin Fields looked like the best that we've seen in terms of him just being under control and knowing exactly what he's doing on top of how he performed. Look, man, Tanner did a nice job.
Yeah, I think you're understanding, when you're a good offensive coordinator, you're understanding, what your personnel is, right? And where are your strengths and how to simultaneously accentuate the strengths, but cover up the weaknesses. I think starting out, handing the rock to Breece Hall a bunch and letting him get rolling. They had some chunk play. They were ripping off chunk plays early against the Steelers defense. So much I was like, what is going on here? Now I know the Steelers don't have Derek Harmon right now, but still, this should be a defense that can stop the run a little bit better than they did. And Breece Hall went for over 100 in this game. And then Justin Fields running the rock, man. Like, why take that stinger out of his game when it is one of the best things he does and ends up getting those two tight touchdowns? He runs for 5 first downs in this game. Like, for sitting there on Move the Sticks, like, that is such a big piece of your offense when you've got a guy that can do that. And I thought, look, overall, this offense felt way more in rhythm in this game against the Steelers than anything we saw in the preseason. I think we were all kind of set. I was nervous to draft Garrett Wilson in fantasy because of how bad everything looked in the preseason. It's like they couldn't get out of their own way. They couldn't target him. There was frustration. But that looked encouraging to me with the way that they got the most out of Justin Fields in that game. And I think, again, that's a hat tip to a first-time offensive coordinator and play caller.
Yeah, I thought, watching it live, then watching the tape, was impressive with what they did. And then you go back and sometimes you watch the tape and then you comb through the box score and you're like, man, it doesn't really tell the story. And this time the box score matches exactly what you saw. And so if you're going to have a business card as an offensive coordinator, I would think some of these words would be right at the very, very top. It would be, we want to be physical. We want to be explosive. We want to be creative. We want to be balanced. Like, all those things showed up when you watched it on the tape. Membu played great at right tackle. This offensive line did a really nice job. They protected him. I think he got sacked one time against the Steelers group with TJ Watt and company and Highsmith and all the different guys they can throw at you. So all that stuff was great. If Gibson doesn't fumble the return, like, they win this game. I mean, that was neither the fault of the offense nor the defense in that case. But I'd never seen Justin play that and I use the word conviction on Monday, just with that level of conviction of seeing it, letting it rip, working not only, outside it, working in the middle of the field, threw the ball accurately with, the ball was jumping out of his hand. Then you mix in like the naked touchdown, you mix in using his legs and some of that creativity. But they had, when you go back through it, I talked about balanced. They had 3 runners have a carry over 15 yards. Well, Breece Hall goes for a $107. Justin had a run of 15. Isaiah Davis had a run of 15. Then you look at receivers. They had 4 different pass catchers catch a ball over 20 yards. With Mason Taylor only getting 1. Hopefully he gets more as you go along. Tyler Johnson had 1. Breece had 1. And Garrett Wilson. So this Jets offense, this dude, there's a reason why we're trying to do this, to highlight some of these coordinators and get their name out there and celebrate them a little bit. Because if this is what it looks like against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have as good a defense as you're going to see, Buck, I don't think there was anything fluky about this whatsoever.
No, nothing fluky. And we know, head coaches are coming from the offensive side of the ball, particularly those who are not only able to create these dynamic offenses, but they elevate the play of the quarterback. And so if we see Justin Fields play at a ridiculous level and this offense is giving opponents problems, he's going to be next up. And so it is great to highlight him, be on the front end of that conversation, playing in New York, major media market. A lot of eyeballs will see him kind of do his deal. Yeah, he's on a platform to kind of set him up to launch into the stratosphere as a new head coach.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. I wonder if we look back, because we celebrated that Detroit Lions offense the last few years with Ben Johnson. If we look back and see 3-4 years from now, we have a bunch of head coaches or coordinators that were all on that one staff. That could end up being a staff that we look at and go, okay, gosh, Aaron Glenn, now he takes his whole wing on the defensive side of what they had going on there that was pretty special. Ben Johnson has his little wing of these offensive coaches. I think we're going to look back and realize how special of a group that was that they had assembled there. And it's going to be a challenge for the Detroit Lions as they've tried to kind of rebuild that coaching staff. All right, guys, we've got a Thursday nighter. That's a fun one. We've got Washington and Green Bay. Buck, give me the Green Bay side of this thing here. What are you looking forward to here week number 2, coming off a big win?
Michael Parsons' continued impact. We saw Michael Parsons' presence just created opportunities and the limited time that he was on the field for Rashawn Gary and others to create. But not only the guys up front that he's playing beside, but what it's going to do to the back end. Being able to sit behind a dominant pass rusher in Parkins, an emerging pass rusher in Gary. Man, you talk about squatting on routes and being able to be a see ball, get ball defense that feast off turnovers, tips, and overthrows. I'm looking to see how this defense continues to grow and evolve with Michael Parsons being a bigger part of the plan each and every week.
Yeah, that was some of the most apparent domination that I have seen from a defensive front against an offensive line in totality, right? Packers against the Lions. And it's not like that group in the Lions is bottom of the league. I know they've got some new pieces.
They're not what they were last year.
Not what they were
off first sight.
That's for sure. For sure. Glasgow at center, Ratledge in there at right guard. That was tough. But I think you've also, from the Packers point of view, again, tip of the cap to Jeff Hafley. He's got that group playing really well. And if there was one concern that I had on the Packers coming in, it was, all right, who's going to be out there at corner? Does anyone even know the names of the guys that are out there at corner besides Keyshawn Nixon? But it didn't even matter. You know what I mean? The way they were getting after it and manufacturing all that rush and pressure and penetration, my goodness. And then Edgerrin Cooper, holy smokes.
He's awesome. Quay Walker played well too.
He did. That was probably, you put that right up there with what Fred Warner did for the Niners in terms of best linebacker play of the week. Those dudes were ridiculous. So I think, look, it's going to be quite a challenge, I think, for the Commanders here on Thursday night. I'm looking forward to being, in studio for NFL Game Day kickoff beforehand. We're there for you 2 hours and 15 minutes before kick.
Ooh.
Nice beefy pregame.
That is beefy. Who you got with you on this thing?
MJD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Maurice will have a nice Parsons XO for you that only Maurice can do. Okay. Yeah, it's always unique. Jaden Daniels, zero concern on the wrist, little ailment that it looked like he was dealing with, according to Dan Quinn. That's great news. I want to see a little bit more Terry McLaurin and more Bill Krosky-Merritt. I think the more that they can get the run game going and eliminate those guys just coming downhill in the pass rush, they're going to be better for it.
Yeah, sequel to the movie Kill Bill. Let's feed Bill. Let's feed him. Get him the rock. To me, the matchup in Rhett touched on those linebackers. The Green Bay defense is built to play against a Jaden Daniels type offense where they want to get the tight ends. They want to work the middle of the field. They want to put you in RPOs. They want to put those backers in a bind. They're equipped to be able to handle that. And then when Jade wants to take off and run, they can run for days. And you throw Micah Parsons into that mix as well. This is going to be a tough challenge for Washington. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a fantastic matchup. Man, I feel like we've been spoiled here. I mean, what a start to the NFL season. Week 1 was awesome. A great slate of games here, starting with this Thursday nighter. I cannot wait for this thing to get here. And it's been fun as we're powering through these episodes this week. It's been great to be back together. I think Move the Sticks. We're cooking with gas right now, boys.
We are cooking with gas.
Heck yeah,
it's
man.
fun.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's fun. Rhett joining, Baldy joining on Mondays, guests popping on Thursday. A lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, we got Mayock coming on
Mayock.
tomorrow. Yeah, fired up about that. So we'll have a blast on that one, and then we'll be ready to preview some stuff as well as we go through Friday's episode. So that's going to do it for us today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Big week for rookies. Hopefully another impressive week for these young studs ahead, and we'll be here to recap all that next week as well, right here on Move the Sticks.